Peace. Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you back to another edition of the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your Foul Player. Wanted to talk about the media coverage as far as with in recent case like Russia, but just in general, that way I could give a little bit of an update as far as this war goes. But since I'm talking about the media, I'm gonna be recording my television. So here and there, I'm gonna look away because I don't want to get like a strike or anything. I don't know if that works, but whatever. But you guys know Russia has invaded Ukraine. I think it started on the 23rd of February, so a couple days ago. Since then, two areas that are on the eastern border of Russia in the Ukraine that consider themselves Russian, Russia acknowledged both those states. In addition to that, like Russia went in and sent quote unquote peacekeeping troops into the area, Russian peacekeeping troops. Since then, Russia has made inroads into the actual Ukraine. One thing you'll see is this shot right here that I'm showing you. That's the center of Kiev, or the downtown area of Kiev, which is the capital of the Ukraine, I believe. As you can see, like the headline says, Russia closes in on Kiev. You see, like this helicopter video here. Another one of helicopters flying by. Nothing crazy though. The other video that I showed earlier was of a jet supposedly getting shot out the sky. You also seen the worst clip that I've seen, or the thus far, is this building. I mean, it's one building. The other thing that I showed before, like what that was playing before, it was. Let me see if I find it again. It was of a plane getting shot at the sky supposedly, but it shows like a quick blast. Like I don't know why it won't show like an actual plane or an aircraft, like in air. It just showed like an explosion. But then they show another clip. That's flares, either flares or maybe something legit got shot out, but nothing of like a plane in action or some shit, like fucking or even in the aftermath, like somebody recording like pieces of the plane like on the floor or whatever. But that one building that I showed you, like supposedly was blasted, or this one here. But this is the worst of what I've seen thus far, like byproduct, anything. Russia also took control of an area called Chernobyl, where Chernobyl had a nuclear facility that blew up in the past, in the 70s. And in the they're claiming it's like in the interest of nobody, like going in there and shooting it, so that there's not another like nuclear incident. They show this video of like these helicopters. I don't think they're shooting down at anything. Like it looks like flares again. Like I don't know. But the Russians did take over that area in Chernobyl. It's like a dude like on a tank. This is the Chernobyl area, that nuclear facility. Again, like supposedly they took it over so that like nothing gets hit there, so that there's not another nuclear incident. I haven't seen anything like kinetic, like dudes fighting or like fucking nothing crazy. They keep showing this area, Kiev, the capital of Russia, and they also show live streams in that of that too, which is this. There's constant live streams. Like if you search this at all, like they're showing you'll constantly see this. Like it's like the a live stream of fucking stupid commercials, bro. Asshole. Of this. It's the capital of Kiev. Now, I mean, like I've watched this a lot, like since it happened, because like the way they're hyping this thing up, like in the news and shit, like I expect to see this shit like in flames or some shit. Like every morning I wake up, but I mean it seems to be Gucci. Like, I mean, there's a car right there. You can't. I mean, this is pretty late at night. There's a cop car here just chilling. But you'll constantly see like traffic coming through here, like through this area. Like regular traffic. It's not like fucking dudes dipping. So I don't know. I mean, like I think that a lot of this shit, like with the Ukraine, like is overblown. And I'll tell you why. Because Russia's military, according to a lot of the stuff I've read, could probably take over Ukraine in a matter of a week if they wanted to. Here's the thing: like the two areas that Russia acknowledged as states, as free states, he acknowledged them because they consider themselves Russian. And 1/3 of Ukraine, you see the car just driving by, chilling, another car there. But one thing about Ukraine, like 1/3 of it considers themselves Russian. Like a lot of them dudes are probably having debates amongst themselves. Like, listen, like fucking one, this country, Ukraine, is pretty shitty to live in now. I think they had like the ninth worst poverty in the whole world. Currently, it's like super corrupt. But a lot of those people are probably saying like, listen, we were doing a lot better like under Russia than we were fucking as an independent Ukraine. One, and two, 1/3 of us considers ourselves Russian. You know, so and I think Russia as an invader, like supposedly, probably thinks like, listen, like these people are like, we're allies, like they consider themselves Russia, like go easy, like don't OD. Let's see if I don't know. I just think that everything that they're talking about on the news and all this shit is like way overblown. For instance, one of the like body counts that they said like on the first day when they first started their invasion, they're like up to 40 people died. 40 people? Are you kidding me? Like fucking 40 people, like fucking that's like any hood USA like in a weekend. 40 people get murked. But then again, the obvious, like they don't show like fucking no planes shot down, like no whole areas just fucking Swiss cheese, like rocket blasted up. And these dudes ain't like fucking aren't not doing that because they fear like Ukraine's military, like fucking no way. I mean, like, I don't think they're not doing that because they fear like a sanction or some shit. You know, I don't know. I just think it's like way overblown. And whether like I mean, I don't want to look like a dick either and like, like we're today's Friday, like if Sunday fucking Russia does some like beast mode, like fucking war type shit. I'm just telling you right now, like thus far, like the media has been overblowing this Ukraine thing. Two, the media has fucking been absolutely wrong about a ton of other shit, like fucking recently. Um, you know, divisive stuff, like or totally invested into it. Like, last week, like it's basically conservatives against liberals for like what, the better part of 5 years. Now it's like everybody against Russia. You know? And just last week I was making videos about the Canada freedom convoy or the trucker strike, whatever you want to call it, and how that wasn't even getting covered on the news. Meanwhile, it's like probably one of the biggest stories, or probably the biggest story that happened in Canada ever. I thought the bigger story was the fact that largely it wasn't covered on the media, and the after effects of that. Like just a couple days ago, I mean, they were basically freezing people's bank accounts for participating in these protests in Canada. That was like the biggest story. Like even I was making videos about it constantly. Like fucking now it's like nobody's talking about, even the people that were talking about that like consistently last week on like channels that like mostly covered that, probably now are like jumping onto like the Ukraine thing because it's such a big deal. But I think it's like overblown, way overblown. I don't know. It's just very suspect. And like honestly, like the media has been like the biggest institution, I think, that's completely corrupt, wrong all the time. The media is always wrong about everything, divisive. Everybody like you right now, like with the the overblowing of like this past thing where if you know you basically like you're a bigot if you don't believe that it's like the biggest thing in the world, like this past sickness that we had in the last like 2 years. You were a bigot if you didn't think it was like a big deal. You were basically a bigot if you didn't take the remedy like to you were basically shut out of going to work, or people were having conversations a month ago, a fucking month ago, saying like basically if you don't get that, like fucking you shouldn't go to work. And now like it's like fucking or these bigots are what's wrong with the world, and like fucking now it's like, all right, fucking whoop, Putin's the bad guy, like fucking that's what was wrong with the world, like fucking I don't know, it's just a mess. And I'm anti-war. Like I don't like, that shit don't have nothing to do with me. I'm anti-war all the time. Fucking in almost any instance, I'm anti-war. Especially, I mean, like you think like I think like that the media is like starting to be wrong lately. Like I don't think so. I think the media has been wrong forever. And we got to start asking ourselves, like what, like first, like I mean, we just got to stop watching this fucking shit I have nailed to the wall, this fucking idiot box. But secondly, um since they're wrong about everything, like somebody who's wrong about everything is a liar. Like why is this apparatus like fucking constantly lying, like constantly getting us hyped up for shit, like fucking we got to start like asking ourselves who's behind this shit and what's their interest in um lying all the time. But I think hopefully some of you guys are starting to wake up. Like the media is like fucking the worst fucking shit going. And I think we could bring the media down instantly by fucking no longer listening to them. Go to YouTube for news, but honestly, like fucking not like don't go to no boxing channel like fucking Minds to get like your news. Like use discernment or start reading too. But you're better off like getting people's opinions on things rather than like fucking you know um somebody who gives his opinion on fucking love stuff, and then all of a sudden he's giving you opinions on the Ukraine, me included. I mean, like if you listen to me, yeah, like fucking I like okay, I may read up on the shit, but I may be lying to you. I may be wrong. Like fucking use your own discernment and like read everything you can on things, like fucking but just don't listen to these assholes. This fucking idiot box that we have fucking with the media. But let me know what you guys think with that. I'm out. Peace.